Celtics record signing hunted by Atalanta. Greg Taylor on the brink of exit. A 6'7" French midfielder in a fire sale. Serbia's teenage star catching Parkhead's eye. Daizen Maeda set for a much-needed rest. Lennon Miller, the next big thing, up for grabs. This summer's chaos starts now. If you want the biggest stories, the boldest drama, and all the madness from Scottish football delivered straight to you, make sure to subscribe right now. Arne Engels, the 21-year-old midfield engine, was barely out of his travel kit when the headlines started linking him to a Serie A switch. Signed for an eye-watering £11 million. On deadline day, he arrived with more pressure than a bottle of Irn-Bru in the boot of a rally car. And yet, for all the hype, his first season in Glasgow has been something of a mixed bag. 10 goals, 13 assists, some magic moments, and the odd disappearing act. A bit like a jukebox that plays all the right tunes, but sometimes eats your coin. Now, just as Celtic are chasing a domestic treble, the Atalanta radar has locked onto him. Apparently, the scouts have been lingering around Glasgow's East End like seagulls near a chip van. They were sniffing around Matt O'Reilly last year before Brighton swooped. And now it is Engels getting the flirty glances from Italy. But hold on, Arne himself has tried to pour cold water on the whole thing. First I've heard of it, he said, all innocent-like. Claims he is focused on the cup final and has no interest in jumping ship. Fair play, lad. Although we have seen this dance before, have we not? And let us talk numbers for a moment. Luke McCowan, the lad who grew up dreaming of pulling on that green and white shirt, is breathing down Engels' neck with 7 goals and 9 assists in fewer appearances. Not too shabby for someone supposedly on the bench more than a substitute teacher. Now here is where things get spicy. Celtic have never been shy about flipping a profit when the numbers look tasty. If Atalanta show up with a bid that is all cash, no funny clauses, the board might just get twitchy fingers, especially with the summer rebuild looming. Refresh the squad, plug a few gaps, maybe find the next bargain Belgian. You know the routine. Is it smarter to cash in on Arne Engels now while the price is hot? Or should Celtic hold their nerve and build the next era around him, with selling their record signing? After just one season show ambition or weakness? The curious case of Greg Taylor. 1 minute he is the first name on the team sheet. The next he is staring at his locker, wondering if he needs to start practicing his Croatian. Brendan Rodgers has come out swinging, with the charm offensive, making it clear he is not ready to wave goodbye just yet. The left back's contract is ticking down to its final pages, and with the Scottish Cup final on the horizon, there is a real chance this could be his last dance in the green and white. But Rodgers is keeping the candle burning, saying the door is still open, just slightly ajar, mind you, like a pub on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Now, let us not pretend this has all happened in a vacuum. The shadow of Kieran Tierney still looms large over the left side of Celtic's defense. The prodigal son is on the radar again, but he brings a bit of a fitness question mark with him. You cannot exactly bank on Tierney playing every minute of every match, so having a solid, reliable option like Taylor makes a fair bit of sense. Rodgers reckons there is room for both of them. Rotation, different tactical setups, injury cover. He is basically saying, why choose when you can have your shortbread and eat it? Thing is, there is still that whole contract not signed detail hanging in the air. Despite a deal still being on the table, Taylor has not put pen to paper, and the only real transfer rumor floating about is from Dinamo Zagreb. It is not exactly a stampede for his services, but it only takes one club with the right pitch and the right pay packet to change the story. And with Jeff Schlupp's loan ticking down and Alex Veal still out in Italy, this decision on Taylor could ripple through the rest of Celtic's summer plans. Do you invest in another left back? Do you go all in on Tierney? Or do you back Taylor to carry on as he has done? So here is the kicker, and I want your thoughts in the comments. If Greg Taylor walks for free this summer, is that just bad business from the board, or is it a necessary risk to finally bring Kieran Tierney back home? Come on then, let's hear it. Is this loyalty misplaced, or is it time to move on? Right? Settle in, because we have got a proper transfer pot, bubbling over with drama, potential, and a few eyebrow-raising price tags. Let us kick things off in France, where En Avant de Guingamp are practically waving a big everything must go banner from their stadium roof. Their bank balance is looking thinner than a pie crust in a student kitchen in Calidou Sidip. Could be first out the door. Now this lad is not just your average midfielder. Standing at 6'7", he is less a footballer and more a tower in boots. Played in 32 of 34 matches this past season and helped Guingamp push for promotion, though they fell short in the playoffs. With just over a year left on his contract and a price tag of £1.7 million, Celtic are reportedly sniffing around. Brendan Rodgers might see him as a bargain bruiser for the middle of the park, especially with the way the squad gets battered during the long Scottish season. A bit of muscle might come in handy. Over in Serbia, it is a different tale altogether. 17-year-old Veljko Milosevic is already a double winner with Red Star Belgrade. The lad is fresh-faced, fearless, and valued at a whopping £8.4 million. He has got top clubs watching him like hawks, including Celtic. But the boy says he is happy where he is, grew up supporting Red Star, still cheering from the stands when he is not playing. Classic romantic footballer story, but we have seen this before. One decent offer and suddenly the boyhood dream gives way to a shiny new contract and a few photos holding up a scarf. Then there is Daizen Maeda, still catching his breath after playing what feels like every game under the sun. 56 matches this season, 34 goals, and now finally being given a break by Japan's national team manager. Fair play to him. Some of the main boys are sitting out the next batch of dead rubbers. Maeda and Rio had to get to stay home, pop their feet up, and maybe even binge a series or two before preseason rolls around. But let us get to the juicy bit, shall we? Celtic are eyeing the potential signings. One is a towering French midfielder available on the cheap. The other is a teenage prodigy who costs nearly 5 times as much. One's got experience, the other's got hype. But here is the thing, should Celtic be gambling big money on unproven talent like Milosevic when they could snap up seasoned players like Sidib for a fraction of the cost? Let me know what you think in the comments. Lennon Miller, just 18, but already causing more transfer chatter than a league team sheet before Derby Day. The Motherwell midfielder has been making waves with his performances, and now it looks like he might be paddling his way right into Celtic's summer plans. The lad is entering the final year of his contract, which, in transfer terms, is like seeing the petrol light blink on just as you approach a used car lot. Suddenly everyone is interested, everyone thinks they can get a deal, and Motherwell are desperately trying to keep the price tag shiny. They have reportedly slapped a £7.5 million sticker on him. Ambitious, some would say. Others might call it wishful thinking, especially considering the state of the Scottish transfer market and the fact the player could walk away for much less if they play it wrong. Now Celtic are no strangers to this sort of situation. Just ask John McGinn. That whole saga was like trying to buy a pint with a £20 note and getting change in washers. To slow, to cautious, and in the end, McGinn headed elsewhere while the club were still debating the small print. This time, though, the noise around Lennon Miller suggests there is an appetite to strike early. Brendan Rodgers is supposedly keen, and with the midfield potentially losing a few pieces in the summer shuffle, Miller could be seen as both cover and a project, the kind you hope pays off in Europe and not just in the League Cup group stages. Motherwell boss Michael Wimmer has already accepted the reality. He knows the boy is likely on his way, and now it is just a matter of timing and fee. Miller's departure feels inevitable. The only real question is whether Motherwell will get what they want or end up blinking first. Should Celtic pay top dollar for Lennon Miller now, or let his contract run down and risk losing him to a rival who gets there first? Get in the comments and tell me, is it smarter to splash the cash or play the long game? Fancy this kind of explosive football news? Then drop a like. It means the world and shows you are enjoying the ride. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss a single twist in the Scottish game. And get down in the comments. I would love to see what you think of all this madness. Looking forward to seeing you around, mate.